I've lived in Lake Bluff for over 30 years. My husband and I raised our family here. We used the Park District was central. We used the preschool, the pool, the beach, the golf course, the tennis. There just were always activities that our kids and my husband and I were involved in. And it's such a central part of Lake Bluff. I love that it's provides activities for everybody in the community of every age. After all that I've gotten out of the Park District, I really wanted an opportunity to give back and see if I could help with the Park District and help keep it going and providing those wonderful services for years to come. Has been damage to the beach. There's been a lot of climate changes and erosion going on. And first, I'd like to say that the Park District Board has had an assessment done for the bluff erosion. That was done in early 2019, and it does address how we protect the bluff if the water level keeps rising. There's a lot of factors related to the beach, multifactorial issues, and a lot of them are unknown how it's going to go. At this point in time, the water level seems to be receding, and I think at the end of the winter season, the Park District will need to make an assessment of new damage and determine whether the changes or the correction needs to be urgently done, or if we have a little bit of time before we have to do some major planning. I will say that there has been another problem on the beach, and that's the addition of concrete. We all know we lost the dog beach to the concrete, and it seems to be moving south. Every day there seems to be a little bit more concrete on the beach. The Park District is aware of it. They're talking about it, but that may be one of the more urgent problems because that really impacts the community's ability to enjoy the beach. Once they determine that the bluff erosion needs to be addressed, will be the time when capital will have to be found. And that's going to really take some community awareness, some education for the community, and building consensus to develop a plan to acquire that capital. Lake Bluff considers the beach a jewel, and a lot of the members of the community want to support it. And I think that's possible. The Park District will just have to do their work to get to that consensus. Pandemic alerts and shutdowns started just about a year ago. That severely impacted many groups and organizations from providing the service and generating the revenue they need to keep their business going. The Park District has maintained, and they have evaluated, and they are looking at where their shortfalls are, and that needs to continue. When you really look at it, you've got to match your services to your revenue. And if things are going to be long-term versus a short-term impact, they need to determine what changes have to be made to make the budget. From an operational standpoint, I really feel that's the responsibility of the executive director, who should make necessary changes and keep the board informed and ask for assistance as needed. I think that give and take with the board and the executive director are very critical, and we all need to put our best step forward to try to do whatever we can to provide services for the community, but do it as a fiscally responsible plan. There's going to continue to be changes, and we have to follow the state mandates, and we can't know what the future looks like, but we could develop a plan based on best guess position of where we think we're going. So communication's important, and developing a fiscally responsible plan. Those are the things I think we need to do. Well, I have to say that related to communication, recently the Park District has started putting out a weekly newsletter. And I think that's a significant benefit and improvement to the communication that's currently in place. That addresses so many things. I think basically as a committee or a board that provides services to the community, we need to see people where they are. And that really means using social media, using the communication that the people want to use, not what we want to give them. So whether it's the social media or the email, there's so many different ones. We have a website. Those are all ways to communicate. The newsletter is important, and I think we need to consider even sending a recap out of the board meeting so people can stay informed. And we use we are transparent in what we're working on and what we're doing so that we engage the community when we need to, but keep them informed of what's happening. I think another thing would be providing the supporting documents for the board meetings. I have not seen those readily available, but those could really help people understand if they have to read the minutes after a board meeting because they weren't able to attend. I think we need to also develop a platform that can be kept updated. Websites are difficult to do that with. So whether it's Facebook or Instagram or something, some format that we can make daily updates as needed. So when something happens in the community and we have to make a change to what we're doing, whether immediately or in short term or long term, we can keep people updated. And I think an educated community is a supportive community.